Dreamweavers, stargazers, and whimsical souls, good now, and welcome back to Baconspiracies. I'm your host, Chop, and I am currently recovering from an illness, but the show must go on. Don't get used to this. I promise I'm not turning into Corpse Husband or one of those other YouTubers that capitalizes on their deep voice. This is temporary. This is part 2 of our Slavic Folklore mini-series. I have TrainerDC and SenTV with me once again. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Y'all both doing okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. I would also like to point out that since we kind of ended on a forest spirits and dryads note on part 1, Sen has since changed his nickname in the Discord server that we operate the podcast out of to God, that birch tree is so curvy.
Hear me out.
No.
I don't want to.
Hear me out.
I literally don't want to, man. I don't want to hear about this.
Listen.
I swear
have you
to God,
seen
I will
them?
find you
Have
and
you
I'll
seen
hurt
those
from
trunks?
one of your asshole gnomes.
You will anger the domo boy.
Ladies, you're both hot. Can I go home now?
Me in the forest.
Me in the we'll get into that a little bit later, but as I understand it, we're going to do a little bit of a callback to the pilot real quick because Trainer's got something that he's been itching to share with me, but I told him to wait until today, so here we are.
Right, so in the pilot we briefly talked about like some weird happenings which I was part of, which everybody like shunned me and said, nah, this shit didn't happen.
Yeah, the one that I remember most clearly is your mom walking past a farm and a cow just died.
Yeah.
Aww.
So ever since then, she's been branded a witch here, and people just don't want to associate with her. Now, the thing is, I have a lovely grandma, which lived through World War II. She's Slovenian. She knows a lot of stuff. She's an English teacher, which, it doesn't play a role here. But let's just say she's a academic person. But she also has very deep roots when it comes to, knowings of the occult, the paranormal, myths, legends, and that sort of things. And, little boy Trainer was always curious about these things. And when I walked up to my grandma asking about those things, she always said, yeah, you wait. Once I'm 90, I'll tell you everything I know. And I'll tell you a bunch of stuff. And, I patiently waited to the point where I forgot that this would actually be when the ban is lifted. And so 3 days ago, she turns 90 and she contacts me. I say, hey, Grandma, happy birthday. And she just immediately says, you have to come to my house. We have to talk. I'm like, oh, okay.
Shit.
What is it? I'll tell you stuff. I'm like, oh, damn. So I sat into my car, drove 30 minutes to get to her. Sat down, we had some coffee, and she just straight up goes, everything which you thought is weird, where I just told you, this probably didn't happen. Well, it did. I'm like, what do you mean? And I'll just give you one of the examples, because obviously I still need to sit down with her again and just go through everything.
Yeah.
So, mountain lions, when they're screaming and it kind of sounds like a woman is butchered in the forest?
Yeah, it sounds like a woman is absolutely screaming for her life. We have plenty of mountain lions here in the lower Appalachian Mountains, and it's terrifying. The noises that they make, it sounds like somebody's literally being murdered like 20 feet from you. And I honestly think that there are some like actual murders that have happened that could have been stopped, but nobody wanted to do a fucking thing because they're like, nah, that's a mountain lion.
Yeah, well, you know which country doesn't have mountain lions?
Slovenia.
Exactly. Now, I have a distinct memory when I was alone at home in the middle of the mountains where I live, and I heard this blood-curdling screaming from the attic. And I remember in panic, like calling over the phone. I was just a little boy. I would remember calling around for people just to like, hey, please calm me down. Like, please help me. And one of our neighbors came and picked me up. And he says, yeah, you just stay here with my wife and my kids and stuff. And he goes out hunting. think to myself, yeah, sure, okay. And after a week, I figure out this dude is now in the hospital. And I wondered, like, what happened? And everybody's like, he got drunk, he fell over and stuff. Well, my grandma said no, actually, a wild man got him. That's what they call it, Diwi Mosh. It's apparently a shape-shifting thing which preys on people, helps people, and if they're offended, they will fuck shit up. So if we now draw parallels to that, if we return to the pilot, when I talked about running in the forest. Well, I guess I pissed something or somebody off in this forest. So that's also why I'm not running in the evenings anymore. And when I retold the story to my grandmother of this happening, she just goes pale, like completely silent, and just says, "You're not stepping outside of the house when it's dark or near the full moon." I'm like, "Not if there's an emergency." And like, no, you stay inside. Okay. And she goes and she literally hands me like just a piece of wood. Just keep that close to you. Like, why? Oh, just keep it close. And I tried to get more information out of her, but she didn't want to tell me anything about it. So now I need to figure out more. Will she tell me stuff in bursts? Do I have to wait another 90 years? Will she live that long? I don't know. Those are all questions which are now rummaging through my head. Another one was when I was sleeping in my room, and I swear to God, I saw a dude just standing at the bed looking at me. And turns out somebody hung himself in this very room, in this house. So that's another cool thing.
I remember you talking about that. I don't think you mentioned literally locking eyes with the dude hanging from the ceiling.
And not hanging from the ceiling, dude, not hanging. I was lying down, when you kind of open your eyes, you look at the figure which is standing here, and I just turned around and you can't sleep and you just hope the thing isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't. And yet another one was when I was living with my ex in a town. When I moved away, the first week, I don't know if I dreamt it or if it was real, but I woke at the night, I woke up to a distorted woman kind of thing just choking me, and I couldn't breathe. And when I then actually woke up, my neck was completely red all around. So those are the things which kind of made me not want to look at horror movies anymore, especially when it's paranormal.
Yeah, no kidding.
And now the follow-up to that is now my beloved grandmother wants me to take her to the oldest forest in this country, which is incidentally half an hour away from here. So, this might be my last recording.
Yeah, don't say that. We have faith in you.
Always say it.
We have faith
Roll
in
the
you.
dice.
You will make it.
I will make it. I have no information on Jeffrey Epstein or Boeing, so I should be okay.
Come on, man. Couldn't even make it 10 minutes.
You cannot just say that.
Baconspiracies is in no way affiliated with Epstein or Boeing.
For now.
If any of us kill ourselves, just know that we didn't.
Yeah. I like living.
I plead the fifth.
But yeah, no, I can definitely understand why your grandma would want to keep that from you, because a lot of this happened when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, a shit ton of it.
Yeah, I'd be fucking terrified if I explained that to my grandma and she was just like, "Yep, that was real. You're fucked."
Yeah, in a way, she said that. In a way, she's just like, "Yeah, the woods outside. Just go outside when there's a full moon or close to the full moon. It wouldn't be good."
Also test if you're a werewolf. That's it.
I mean, I also live not far from some of the oldest woods in my country, in the U.S. So the Appalachian Mountains runs from the north of my state, Alabama, all the way into southern Canada and bits of the Northeast, like Maine and New York and such. And they're some of the oldest mountains in existence. They used to be all connected when all the continents still formed Pangea. They were the central Pangean Mountains. And the Irish Highlands, or Scottish Highlands, I think, are technically part of the same range. They've just been separated by millions of years of tectonic movement. And there's no telling what are in these woods, because It's ancient. I would imagine that if you were to visit them here, Trainer, you would get the same vibe as you would from your old forest.
Yeah.
Because all the fucking stereotypes about hillbillies, you know, fucking strumming a banjo with a piece of long buckwheat in their mouth. They're just like, they stop and look at you and like, don't you go in them there woods. That's real. Don't go in them there woods, dude. You don't fucking know what's in there. People go missing on the Appalachian Trail all the time, even in the most frequented spots like Blue Ridge National Park in Tennessee and North Carolina. I'm not going to name any names to keep it anonymous, but as of the last time I was checking it out, there was somebody last year that had just gone missing and it had never been found. There's cults that do, you know, cult things in the Appalachian Mountains. There's tribes of actual cannibals that hide up there in the mountains that people have reported literally running from along the trail. And the trail's no joke. It's several thousand miles. And there are stretches that's like you need to make peace with God before you go along this stretch, or just skip it altogether.
I still want to hike it. I know it's like my last ride, I guess. Just go through the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
Dude, get a hiking buddy. I cannot stress this enough. Do not do that fucking journey alone.
I would never do it though.
Don't do it alone. And
as a last case, you can just sacrifice him.
No, shut up, son.
Hey. You know what the best bear defense is? The best bear defense is a very small pistol, which you shoot your buddy's knee with.
I didn't know where you were going with this, but this is not it. This is not what I expected.
No. You know, the best defense against a bear is a bottle of vodka.
Of course.
Of course.
But yeah, you said never go alone.
Yeah, never go alone. Always go with a hiking buddy, and if you can, go with fucking 2 hiking buddies, because you guys need to like have eyes on each other at all times. Because there's
and bring a minigun.
I mean, yeah, that too. But there's a YouTuber that I watch that goes over like medical mysteries and missing persons cases and all that stuff. He's called Mr. Ballin. I think he's a Navy SEALs veteran.
Balling.
Literally, it's not Ballin, it's Ballen. It's Ballen. He does great work, and a lot of his missing persons cases involve 2 people on like a hiking trail. More often than not, it's the Appalachian Trail, and they'll take their eyes off. One person will take their eyes off the other for like 5 seconds, and then they'll look back, and that person will be fucking gone.
Yeah, and then usually they find their body like 15 miles away.
Yeah, they find their butt like, and sometimes more than that. Sometimes they're like 200 miles away from the trail. It's like, and there's no trace. Like, there's no trace of a struggle. They didn't drop any of their shit. They just poof, gone.
Yeah, and then they do an autopsy and they find out, oh yeah, this person was like 2 hours ago still alive. Like,
yeah,
what?
It's crazy. Don't go in them there woods.
No.
The Appalachian Mountains are insane, and if I had to guess, if your old forest is anything like ours, it's probably the same way. Don't go alone, don't take your eyes off each other, that kind of thing. Now, I'm not a hiker, but this is just what I've ascertained from all the hiking stories that I've heard from various sources, including Mr. Ballin. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I don't know, common sense?
Probably. I mean, all common sense, yeah, you fall down, you break your leg, you know, but just the sheer terror of you suddenly being alone where you know your buddy was there. Mm-hmm. You're still in the middle of the woods. You're thinking to yourself, the shit that happened to him can happen to me anytime. Just that. Yeah. That must be horrible. And another thing with old forests is you always, if it's the right kind of forest, you always feel watched.
Absolutely. Except in cases when it's the Russian forest and you're actually being watched by
like 20 spirits, 20 different spirits.
KGB would like to know.
A couple of bears, an asshole gnome, and a bird with boobs.
Do not bring the chicken with boobs back up, please. I just scrubbed it from my memory.
So fucking bad.
But yeah, the two safest places where you won't disappear is Russia and North Korea, because you're watched constantly by the government.
God damn, we're getting a little too political.
Don't worry, I got you.
You guys are gonna get me awarded the CIA Award for Excellence in Journalism.
Why did you shoot yourself?
Yeah, what's that, you ask? 2 bullets to the back of the head, rolled a suicide.
I mean, we went with...
Really put the conspiracy in Baconspiracies over here. Where's my tinfoil hat? You got any other stories that your grandmother has basically myth confirmed?
Yeah. So there's a story of her great grandfather. So her great grandfather went through a valley called Didelnograden. It's basically a smallest valley from their previous house to this house. And during the night, he apparently heard somebody say, turn around, it's not safe. And he was drunk a little bit, as us Slovenians are most of the time. And he just said, you know what, no, fuck you, I'm gonna walk where I want, this is my land. And apparently as he uttered these words, the entire forest started to like collapse around him as he was, slowly starting to run, trees falling all across him. He came home completely bewildered that the entire valley has fallen down, and people went like straight up to check it out because this guy does not lie. But all the trees were still standing. And my grandmother said that stretch of land is cursed to the point where people just avoid it. And I checked it out because I was like, yeah, come on, Gran, you can't be serious, right? And there used to be a trail going there, and it's sealed off by the government. Like, why?
Really?
Yes. It's just a stop, do not walk across here. Nothing explained why, just don't go through here. And people are respecting it, or they know better. And the same grandgrandfather knew about star constellations, about the same names we call them now. And that dude definitely didn't have a degree in astronomy. And he said the fairies told him about that. We call them vile. I don't know if you guys in Russia have those as well.
Do you have fairies? I would assume yes.
Duh. Of course we do. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm just afraid it's going to be something like, oh, we don't have tooth fairies, we have bone fairies. They come for your bones.
The running joke that's like the tooth fairy is a much smaller and harmless descendant of the much larger and more vicious bone fairies.
Yes.
It's such a cool theory. I love it.
Yeah, we do have at least one. I mean, some of the other characters can be counted as fairies, but there is one that is like more of a definitive type, but it's not small as far as I remember.
You have giant fairies.
No.
Is it a bear with wings?
No, but when you get really drunk, so drunk that you start seeing things, what we call that is someone catching a squirrel, and like a squirrel with a big S and not ass. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you mean donkey?
I'm tracking.
Yeah, that basically like means that he caught the squirrel. That means he starts seeing shit. He's not really in his right mind because of how drunk he is. He saw a squirrel. That it is basically a creature that talks to you, and only to you, and only you can see it.
So basically, what I'm hearing is there's a certain threshold of drunk that you cross before you run into a squirrel.
An eldritch being that represents itself as a squirrel. Yes.
This seems like the most tame Russian mythical creature until now. I mean, okay, please. Now I'm intrigued.
Now, before we delve into any Russian cryptids, we have to remember our checklist that we have established in the first episode. Does it have boobs?
I swear to God.
Does it turn you into an animal?
Oh my
God.
God.
Or does it kick your fucking babies?
And cats in the process. Yes.
And cats.
Especially cats. Actually, as I discovered, it kicks the cat. The Domo boy kicks the cat because he's angry at the cat being lazy.
That's just how cats are.
But at the same time, he doesn't want you to work past nighttime. This is some hypocritical gnome behavior.
No, he just lets out his anger.
Oh god, we got Trainer started.
God damn it.
We're gonna be angry at the gnomes for another 20 minutes.
Listen.
Okay.
So
let's start filling out that checklist, right?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll stop.
So I'm gonna start with Vila, the Slavic fairy. It is more like a nymph and is portrayed as a beautiful woman with long blonde hair. There are actually 3 kinds of them, because Vila as itself is just a name for the spirit.
Wait.
So-
Checklist. It has boobs, okay.
Yeah,
Does it turn you into an animal?
We haven't gotten there yet. Stand by.
there are 3 kinds of Vila.
Okay.
Those who live on land and forest, cloud or air nymphs, and water nymphs. It is basically the category of creatures, okay? So, for example, a water villa would be the Vodyanoi, a naked grandpa
I'm sorry, what?
that is part frog and lives in a lake.
Yeah, we talked about, briefly touched on the Vodyanoi last episode. We can go
Oh,
more in
you
detail.
remembered?
I edit these motherfuckers, Sen. Of course I remembered.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
said, oh, it's part frog, part, human, not part angry grandpa.
Oh yeah. He's not angry. Least of the time, he's not angry.
Okay, so it falls into the kicks your cat category.
No. The domovoi is. The domovoi is a villa of the land, you would say.
Wait, so these all fall under like the fae/nymph category?
Just the fae, more like.
Hmm.
We don't really categorize them in our folklore. It's just me using a more like close to like other systems. So fays, fairies, minor gods, deities, any of those fit.
Makes me think, Trainer. It was your grandpa though that had the whole forest collapsing thing happen to him.
Yeah, my grandpa.
Your great grandfather. Okay.
Yeah, great.
So, when your great grandfather was experiencing this, do you think that potentially he was just walking through a portal to the Feywilds?
That is a theory my grandma told me about because it happened around a day which is called Prapretno, where if you go through the forest and you get on this day seeds of fern in your pockets without noticing it, you can potentially cross into the Fey world. But as soon as you try to do it like on purpose, it won't happen.
So it's purely by accident, and I guess that's why. That's there's stories circulating of people that would like walk into the woods, vanish without a trace, and then come back and they swear up and down that it's been like years.
Yeah.
But it's only been a few days. So there's a whole stereotype circling around, the Fae, and it's like don't follow them into the forest, no matter how enticing it is, because you'll come back and it'll be 1,000 years later, and everyone you've ever known, everyone you've ever loved will be dead, long dead.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Seems like maybe it could work both ways, depending on which way time wants to dilate.
Once again, I just find it so interesting that we're miles apart, yet we have the same legends and the same stories about Fays, the paranormal, and so on.
You're talking about you and Sen, you and me, or both?
Both.
Huh?
That's true.
Gnomes, Fays, that shit's
Yeah.
connected, isn't it?
I've said it before and I'll say it
It
again.
is.
It's countries that have either very little or no contact with each other for thousands of years, peaked and fallen at different points in history, and yet they all have the same depictions, or at least shockingly similar depictions of various mythological creatures, be that gnomes, fairies, dragons, anything of the sort.
Yeah, dragons are very prevalent in Slovenia.
Yeah, descriptions vary slightly, but the meat and potatoes of the creature is there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So talking about asshole gnomes,
Yeah, I was about to say, Sen, you can carry on. I apologize.
the domovoi actually has a wife. Believe it
The
or not,
Domovoy
has a wife.
is married.
Technically is, yeah.
There's somebody in fucking Russian mythology that is willing to put up with that motherfucker enough to put a ring on it.
I think she's worse.
Oh no.
Oh god, here we go.
Maybe that's why he's pissed off.
She is purely malevolent as a being. The Kikimora is how they are called. They're depicted in two different ways. So it could be either a deformed, small woman covered in hair, or it could be a beautiful, fair maiden with a beautiful long braid. It's either one of those.
I'm inclined to go with the former, but it'd be so much funnier if it was the latter. Just beautiful lady, gremlin husband. Like, it's like Roger and Jessica Rabbit.
Yes.
Me and the tall golf bitch that I pulled by kicking the cat.
Oh my, he kicked the cat so good. Oh, I'm swooning.
Oh my god, dude, that's funny.
Now to a more dark part. They are known to have several physical deformities and haunt the dwellings where a child has died.
Does this prevent the kid from passing on?
No, it's after it. It's after that. It's a house spirit, just as Domovoi. They're said to live in like crevices, in under the floorboards, behind the shelves, and in the attics. In some like stories, it is said that they live in swamps and the forests, but they are known to be very elusive, very mischievous. They tend to always make disturbing noises to annoy humans and scare them, as well as animals as well. So you can also check the fucks with animals thing on the list. So already on this one we have boobs and fucks with cats.
Load bearing with. Load bearing with. Fucks with cats.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Just to clarify. So has boobs, fucks with animals. So yeah, that counts for the kicking cats.
Yeah.
Box that we set up. Does it turn people into animals?
Sadly, no.
Okay.
Oh,
But they do leave wet footprints on the floor.
those assholes is why I get my socks wet every now and then.
Yeah.
Some motherfucker kicked the ice under the fridge and melted, turned into water, and now my sock is wet. Who the fuck want to die?
I would hate it. I would hate it if one of those birds just start to fuck around with me. The cats would be pissed off. Yeah, life would suck. No wonder you people are always angry.
No, dude, I'm fucking filling a super soaker full of printer ink and just absolutely annihilating anything I see. Or like that one dude who just doused his fists in holy water and just started swinging until he connected.
Swinging. Me covering my fists in the fucking arachis paste, peanut paste, and going to my allergic neighbor.
Oh no!
Have you guys heard that story? The story of the ghost puncher?
Yes, I did.
Please tell me. I need to hear this right now.
Oh my god, Trainer. Okay. I'm giving you the whole thing because
It is fucking amazing.
holy shit. No, I'm just gonna. You know what? For anybody that hasn't heard it, I'm just going to read it out. This is from 4chan, so take it with a grain of salt. This may or may not have happened, but
I fucking love that story.
I hope to God that it's in some semblance real, because it's so funny. It's an X though. X is the paranormal board. I'm probably gonna do an episode at some point where we rifle through the X board, because it's got some good shit in here. And anyways, Lifting Buddy and I hear about a place where you can go get your palm reading. Show up to the shady ass place at 10 in the morning wearing our workout gear. Ghost bitches already miring. Stereotypical scraggly gypsy woman shakes her hands and seats us at the table with a crystal ball. Asks us who wants to go first. Hispanic heritage kicks in and I nope at the last minute. Friend chads up to the plate. Woman grabs his hand. He flexes slightly. Woman goes from smiling to horrified, starts grabbing and studying his hand like a last will. Feeling weird, man. Tells my friend he's got something following him. Ask him if he did any Ouija voodoo bullshit. Says he smashed a hole in the wall when he was drunk lifting at home. Says there was some kind of decorative skull behind it that he now uses as decoration in the bedroom. Gypsy lets us leave without paying. At the gym 30 minutes later, spotting friend while he benches. Some newbie dumbass is curling next to us. Like no joke, 6 inches away from us. Dude slips up and swings a 20 he's holding at friend's head. Throws the bar up and ducks just in time. Almost impale myself trying to catch the bar. Newbie apologizing while friend gets back up. Tell friend he should go home. Friend looks unfazed and wants to continue. Leave to grandfather's sister's house, get some sage and silver, go back to gym and give it to my friend next day. He looks happier than normal. Tells me some shit went down at his house. Says the power was dead even though all his bills were paid and the rest of the neighborhood had power. Heard rattling of silverware. Uses flashlight app on his phone to see. Saw a silhouette of someone crawl under the kitchen counter. Nothing under the counter, not even shelves. Friend doesn't believe in Ouija shit and believes it's an intruder or animal. And continued here. This is a long-ass story. Continue. Friend grabs his pull-up bar and gets ready for sweet fit justice. Yells obscenities while patrolling his house. Says he sees what looks like a small humanoid crouched in his weight room. Gives 0 fucks and tosses the pull-up bar at the window. Shatters. Thing nowhere in sight. Friend then starts to consider Ouija shit. Calls other friend for advice. Our lifting group has some odd characters. Johnny answers and tells him to burn the sage and carry the silver. Says he'll be by with some holy water. Drops it off. I'll call my grandmother tomorrow to help. She's one of the medium people. Friend sits down on his couch while the house smells like old. Watches American Dad. Looks at the sage. Dried up and out. Goes to his pocket for the silver. Fucking melted. Instead of warm, it was cold. Starts to see something dart back and forth across the room. TV goes off and static comes on. Says high-pitched screaming fills the house. Friend gets mildly annoyed. Walks over to the weight room and smashes the skull against the wall in a fluid motion. Imagine like walking into a room, tipping over a vase, and going back to what you were doing. He did that except threw a skull against the wall. Says house shook. Screaming got higher, then stopped. Lights go off again. Hears numerous footsteps getting closer to him. Tells me he's mildly freaked out at this point. I'm very concerned that he said mildly. Says he doused himself in holy water and started swinging as hard as he could into the darkness. Yeah. Only hears the wind breaking on his fists. Says he heard footsteps getting further away from him. Screams, "No!" Starts running around his house, swinging in the darkness. Fucked up his living room in the process. Tells me he swears he made contact with something fleshy a few times. Doesn't remember falling asleep. Wakes up and goes to the gym to tell me this the next day.
There is much more.
He goes outside to make frequent calls throughout his routines. Ask him if he's been trying to get in touch with a priest. No, he's been calling his home phone and leaving angry voice messages for the ghosts. Says he would buy a snake just to flatten it with a rolling pin until it dies. Fast forward a few days. Friend looks completely normal. It's disturbing how well he's handling the situation. Other friend tells me he went to lifting buddy's house to check up on the sitch. Feels a presence, but it feels scared. Lifting buddy walks out of his room naked, wiping his ass with a Ouija board towel. Throws it on the floor and kicks it into the living room. Pours more holy water on it, then takes it outside to burn it. Asks friend if he is hungry. Sure. Pulls out an opened Ouija board he bought at a Spencer's and uses it as a fucking cutting board. Says he repeatedly stabbed the cutting knife into the board and he was not using it. Breaks the board in half after he's done chopping up tomatoes and throws it in the trash. Washes his hands, then pisses in the trash can. Even I think it's disrespecting the spirits too much. They both eat grilled chicken salad, then Johnny leaves. Says on the way out, lifting Woody goes to the lifting room and puts another crucifix on the wall. I'm putting Jesus on this wall, and I'll be back to fucking masturbate on my bench press while thinking about Lucifer's whore daughter. Punches a hole in the wall before leaving. Johnny calls his medium grandmother that night. Goes to lifting buddy's house with a priest the next day. Says they were both amazed/disturbed with how he's fighting the situation. Priest actually cowered and mired lifting buddy pissing naked on the satanic Bible he bought at some shady bookstore. Tells priest he walks around naked a lot lately and talks shit about Satan. Priest leaves before cleansing. Grandma stays to do her medium thing, tries to contact the spirits. Says it was a group of entities that were pissed that their shrine was disturbed. Tells that they have no power since Lifting Buddy isn't remotely scared of anything they've done. Lifting Buddy walks back into weight room with a dead snake. Abuela says the entities scatter like roaches. Check out what I found on the street this morning. Takes a bite out of apple. Fucking dead snake. Throws it on the floor. Puts holy water and salt on it. Kicks it into the carpet a few times before peeling off and throwing it in the trash can in the kitchen. Grandma is what the fucking at this man's mental strength or ignorance. tries to contact the spirits again. They keep running from her. Finally talks to one. Says they're scared of lifting buddy. Ghosts are scared of my bulky friend. And basically, I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. They figure out why the spirits are, why they're disturbed. It says they had some asshole landlord way back when had incriminating shit to shame his family within the wall. Brother throws a 15-pound weight through the wall to find the documents. It's a folder with records.
Yeah, they fucked with the landlord. The spirits thank him and leave.
Yeah. So basically, he finds the address of this dude that's like old as dust that fucked with the families of these ghosts and like screwed them out of properties and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And dude like beats the old man into a bloody pulp and it's like, I'll be back for more if you don't fix this situation. So, Trainer, are you enlightened?
I feel very enlightened.
I imagine, and this is what the average Russian home is like.
Yes.
You get fed up with the asshole spirits and you just douse your hands in holy water and start punching shit. I am reminded of this story constantly, and I am left to wonder, are ghosts scared of y'all, or are you scared of them?
I think I would be chill with the ghosts. I probably will. Yeah, I will probably bake a brownie, stab it with a knife, just so the ghosts can eat it. I will kill the brownies for the ghosts.
Okay, I need to go find a different Russian. Sen was clearly the wrong person to ask.
What the fuck?
Wait. Oh god, I just realized the best defense against ghost is the ghost naga chili pepper.
What?
Elaborate, please?
Well,
You're gonna have some
pepper.
ectoplasm in your toilet.
No, ghost pepper, people don't like spicy food, and if it's ghosts which are very old, they don't know what spicy food is.
Carolina ghost pepper.
Just put a Carolina Reaper in front of your door, the ghost won't touch it. It works against elephants and
Me
goats.
killing a spider just to mess with the ghosts.
Oh my god. Top 10 foods to kill a medieval serf.
Talking about serfs, I do have a very long story about a con man in Russia.
See, I was afraid because I thought you said corn man, and I was like, these people have literally a fae living in the corn.
Okay.
Which,
So,
again, wait, before you start,
yeah.
do you guys have corn spirits? Because we do.
Corn spirits.
Yes.
Corn wasn't a thing in Russia at the time.
Right, we have something, that's from my Swiss roots, so Maisgeist. So it's literally a spirit which lives in the cornfield. And I don't know if it's real or not, but it is so, kids don't go playing around in them cornfields and get lost. Do you guys have something like that, Chop?
I'm on Cornhub right now.
Don't swear to God. The
Oh,
Knob Hub.
What, Sen, is it too corny for you?
Yeah, I would love to have some more trunks, actually. I need some more branches,
Well, it's not so much corn spirits as it is just the entities that are already there just happening upon, cornfields. Because the Midwest, especially like Nevada, where the Navajo and other Native American tribes are, it's a spot that's very widely known for allegedly housing skinwalkers.
Mm-hmm.
And if I were to assume, I would assume that if we have any corn spirits, it's those motherfuckers lurking in the corn. And now, for a Baconspiracies special feature, Storytime with Sen. I think we've got enough time for one, and then we'll start wrapping it up. So hit us with the wish-granting fish.
So, once upon a time, a village simpleton, whose name is Yemelia, he tends to just lie on the chimney, because the chimneys used to be very big in Russia. Some of them, because they provide a lot of heat, and we have very cold winter, so it's obviously lying on one, it's amazing. He tends to be very lazy, just doing nothing, not helping in the house. But the one time his family made him go out to fish, he catches a magic pike, which promises to fulfill any of his wishes if he spares it and lets it go. He uses his wish to take care of everything that he is too lazy to do himself. And thus, an axe by itself chops wood, buckets fill themselves with water, basically their own oven, cooks pastry, cooks bread by itself.
The stove?
The stove, yes. But after some time, his family tells him to transport some stuff, and he's too lazy to go. So he just commands the stove to transport him there. And basically, all of that ends with him marrying a Tsar's daughter for no reason. That's about it. Really, guy is so lazy, he wished for everything to do itself for him. And then he does some stuff, goes out on a living stove, riding like a Bugatti into town, meeting a Tsar's daughter, proposing to her, and marrying her.
So where does the fish come back in the story? Or is that it?
It does not.
What?
It just grants the wishes.
You teased us so much with this.
If I find a wish granting fish, I'm gonna be like, make me some caviar. Yeah.
What?
Sacrifice your young to me.
You wanna... Oh, no, you wanna eat them. Okay, I thought you wanna harness the wishes, but okay.
Oh, you know what? I didn't think that far. I'm just hungry. Yeah, no, maybe the wish granting fish lays eggs that hatch more wish granting fish. It's like wishing for more genies.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll wrap it up.
I mean, we still haven't got to the Vodyanoi.
We were just talking about it.
No, I haven't told you about him. We only ever mentioned him, right?
Don't worry, we'll do it very quickly. Tits? Yes, no. A cat kicking turns into animal.
Dead tits, I guess. Dead tits. He has a dead bod.
I mean, yeah, okay.
Okay, counts.
Yeah, exactly.
Counts. It turns people into animals.
In one story, yes.
Okay, cool.
Fucks with kicks cats.
No,
Or an equivalent.
He's a water spirit, so no.
Cats hate water. Okay.
Kicks fish.
Kicks fish, I don't know. The Vodyanoi is basically a spirit of people who have drowned for usually a self-inflicted thing.
Like you by drowning.
Yeah, you cannot say on YouTube.
Oh, fuck.
I was trying to avoid it.
Oh, well, shit. Okay.
You're gonna have to censor it.
Sewer slide.
Sewer slide. Oh my god. Yeah, he is believed to come from basically anyone who drowns in a lake, not a live child in a lake, self-afflicted, went too deep to the lake, and so on, I would say.
So does every new death generate a new Vodyanoi, or does it just like oversee them?
I think all accumulation. I would
so
say.
it's like every death makes him stronger.
Yeah.
Oh god. What about all the fish that drowned?
I think we broke them. We broke them.
Okay, I think that's a good enough note to end on. Thank you, listeners, for joining us in the ritual of putting our proverbial noses to the ground to sift for forbidden mushrooms on the path less traveled. Be sure to follow Trainer on Twitch and YouTube. Follow Sen on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. And I'll have those links in the description, just like last episode. And as always, be the cryptid that you wish to see in the woods. Have a good night, everybody.
Alright, so it's finally time for us to start speaking about the trees. Oh wait, you're still recording.
Don't go anywhere just yet. Sen shared a handful of tall tales in the autumn of our recording, and I picked the funniest one. We both love to share not only the ones that didn't make the cut, but many more. So if you liked our little special feature, let us know, and you may get some more little blurbs on the channel from our favorite Russian. Alright, take care.